we talked about skills and gaps currently. Piece of discussion is what about in the future, right? So really interested in hearing from those who said yes on the last slide, right? Because if you don't know what you have today, how could you know what you have a framework or strategy in place to be ready in 3 to 5 years? Maybe you do though, and we're not thinking of it. So I guess the key question is, does your org have a skill framework strategy to manage your talent risk in the next 3 to 5 years, and to ensure that you built your talent to where your talent needs to be? Because the skills required today may not be the skills required in 3 years or 5 years. So let's hear from some of the team members. What
I know Chrissy and Oshkosh, their organization are starting to look at that now that they have the career hub up and running.
Christy might have stepped away for a minute.
Yeah, her mic is muted. Anybody else?
Yeah, this is Carrie. That's a really great question you pose there. And we don't have all the answers, but two things that we think are going to be critical, not only for today, but for tomorrow and probably for the next several years, is problem solving that's more effective and efficient. Because I have yet to find a group that says they don't have any problems.
So I4CP has put together some fantastic materials, creating a skills database and a guidebook to doing that. And the data that we're sharing on the screen is what they collected about a year ago when they went to about 1,000 plus individuals as respondents. And so the interesting thing is there is a significant jump in that second item, for at least with our group, in comparison to the sample. The other interesting thing is there are less people building. So I can see why we've got the participation and engagement in this call that we have, because over almost half of you, 41%, considering building a database. I'm guessing that those of you who are not planning on it right now may be looking at, is this something we should be thinking about?
So we started, this is the second time that we've done something like this. The first one, we implemented a model that was built in-house at Liberty Mutual, and we started with the risk control or risk engineering organization following something like this. Then at CNA, in the risk control organization, we followed the exact same model. And this is kind of like the model that Nick referred to a little bit earlier in the discussion, where we started off at a smaller scale. When you look at the size of CNA, we focus on risk control specifically, and we target not only professional skills, but we also target technical skills.
It is very useful to hear that we're not the only ones in this, right? It's really great. And to what Giovanni said, I mean, it's very similar path that we're taking, right? Building that competency database, if you can call it that way. And then some skills would pertain to a specific competency, and then a competency would have a specific proficiency level, right? So when we started, we had those competency databases created already in SuccessFactors. However, they were very broad and wouldn't fit what's actually required by the company and required by the strategy that we're looking towards the future.
I'm going to throw in a couple things or just reiterate a few points you made. The purpose of doing all this work, of building the skills database, of getting the skills associated with competencies, roles, jobs, is it's all about career development and talent mobility. Right now, I hate to say it, but I think it's easier for one of our employees to find a position at a competitor than it is to find a position that they're a great match for within our own company. And that should be absolutely the opposite of what it is today.